Well, the last time we did not have a dial face on there, so I've added that, and it looks really nice, and I can actually see that it's telling time now. Before I could guess, but now it shows me exactly if it's running fast or slow. Just want to get into a little bit about how I got inspired to do this. This is a Fine Woodworking Magazine number 56 from 1986, and I got this magazine and looked at the cover and thought, oh my god, look at that thing, that's beautiful. So back in 86, that's 29 years ago, a guy named Wayne Westfall wrote an article in Fine Woodworking Magazine. This first issue, he shows the clock and he explains what is a clock, how it works. There's an exploded view of the clock that he made. There's a little bit of clock math on there, which I didn't really find very helpful, at least as far as the clock that I'm building here. But there is some very nice stuff in here about making clocks. And then the next month, this is number 57, 1986, and he goes into how he built the clock physically. Now, very nice drawings, illustrations. You can get a lot of clues from here, but you can look at the machinery he was using, and there was no way. That was way out of my reach there. So it did, these two books sat in my shop for the last 29 years on the shelf over there. The next book I bought was Clock Repairing as a Hobby by Harold C. Kelly. It was copyright 1972. The first 27 pages explains pendulums, the dial train, and it gives a theory of operation for a clock. And it's very, very straightforward, very understandable, and that was really, really helpful, that book right there. The other thing, this is a conceptual sketch now of what this clock is going to look like when it's done. Originally, I thought it was going to be made out of all plywood. It's going to be rather crude. I didn't really think it was going to work, but it's working. You can hear it ticking. So this is my conceptual drawing. The other things I used was Brian Law. If you go on YouTube, he makes some beautiful, beautiful clocks. I also used from his website, see if I can find it here. He has some free plans on his website. Now, I did not use the escapement wheel that he made here. I just used the escapement lever itself, which is very helpful. You can see the scale is 1:1, so I cut that out, put it on a piece of walnut, and that was very helpful. The other thing was Ron Walters. He's also on YouTube. He has a very nice video on making gears and such. The thing was he was using a scroll saw. Now, when you use a scroll saw, you can make 60-tooth gears. Now, I got a bandsaw over there. Well, that bandsaw has a 8-tooth per inch blade on it, pretty rough, and that's what I have. So that was my limitation. So I was limited to 40-tooth gears, which really just mathematically caused me to have a gear train with 5 wheels and 4 pinions. Now, what I didn't realize was that by limiting myself to 40 teeth, I was adding more gear trains to the drive train, and as a result, we lose torque. And I thought that might have been a problem, but it actually turned out it wasn't that bad. By the way, you should keep all your notes in a book like this, so keep them organized. There's my gear train. Now, I figured out all the torque ratings, the RPM ratings, And I figured out with this one here, with a 10-pound weight, was going to give me 0.625 pounds at the escapement wheel. And I thought, oh no, that's probably not going to be enough to push the pendulum. But it actually turned out that it was okay. The other thing was, there was a lady on YouTube, her name is Mandy, and I'll try to pronounce her last name as Orzechowski, Orzechowski, and she had a very nice tutorial on how to figure out gear ratios, RPMs, and torque. And that was very helpful to watch those. And I used that method to come up with my plan. Again, we can't use 60-tooth gears with a really rough bandsaw. So the dilemma was to buy a bandsaw or buy a scroll saw and just use the bandsaw to cut out rough stuff. So I decided, well, what the heck? This is what I have, and this is, it's just the way it is, and we'll just have to deal with it. It did work out okay, though. So the next thing I'm going to do here is now, like I said, before I was going to just make this clock. You can see it's really rough looking because it's all plywood. So now I've come up with this crazy idea, and you can see from my conceptual drawing that I could actually make it look pretty nice. So I'm going to be using this piece of Brazilian cherry here for the cross piece, and piece of Brazilian cherry there's for the cross piece there, and another piece going vertical. So now I can use this plywood as a template to drill the holes for the center of all the axles. So we'll see how that works. That's about all I got today. That's how I designed it. Have a good day.